Good evening. It is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, 7 p.m. I will call the city council meeting to order. Clerk Everett, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Huckabee. Here. Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Lesko-Hare.
Here.
Councilmember Schultz.
Here on Zoom.
President Jekyll.
Here. Thank you. Item 3 is Pledge of Allegiance. I invite everyone to stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Moving on to consent agenda. The consent agenda outlined below is hereby presented for action by the city council. Items may be removed from the consent agenda on the request of any one council member. Items not removed may be adopted by one action without debate. Removed items may be taken up either immediately after the consent agenda or placed later on the agenda at the discretion of council president.
I move to approve the consent agenda as listed, items 4A through 4F.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, public hearings. Tonight we have none. Item 6, public comment for matters on the agenda. The city council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following items for the record when called upon. Name, address, and contact info. For those following along on Zoom, if you wish to speak, please raise your virtual hand as the chat box is not monitored, and those on the Zoom call must remain muted during the meeting. Don't believe we had anyone signed up in person, so this will be a first call for anyone on Zoom. Second call for anyone on the Zoom. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment and move on. Item 7, petitions, requests, and communications. We will start off with 7A, presenting a presentation relating to the Fort Atkinson Critical Home Repair Program proposal from Melissa Sanko, CEO, and Elena Rodriguez, project manager for Habitat for Humanity. Sorry if I mispronounced any names.
No worries. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Well, excellent. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for having us. I just wanted to say I'm Melissa Sanko, CEO, as he mentioned. I wanted Elena, who's the project manager for our repair program and Let's Safe Homes, who would be overseeing this program with me tonight. So I wanted her to just do a little bit more of an introduction, and then I'll kind of whiz through our presentation.
Yeah, so again, my name is Elena Rodriguez. I'm a special programs manager, so I oversee our home repair program. So that includes our Lead Safe Homes program that we actually have a project starting in Fort Atkinson here in April. And then our home preservation, so critical home repairs. We do roofing, siding, and windows. So I oversee working with our homeowners and then also getting contractors that want to partner with us to do those repairs. So kind of coordination with all different parties, and then just educating our homeowners, contractors, and just the general public on why critical home repairs are important for just the community. So
yeah, thank you. Awesome. I'm going to kind of speed through some of the history slides. I believe you had this deck ahead of time, and I want to spend most of our time on kind of the program design. But I included the mission and vision of Habitat for Humanity. We're kind of a household name, so hopefully you've heard of Habitat. We've been in Jefferson County since late 2023. Fort Atkinson was actually the home of our first new construction build as Habitat, Waukesha and Jefferson counties. So we are excited. That home will close in April, May. We'll welcome 2 families. So, but I wanted to talk about our Vision 2033, and because the repair program, critical repair program that we're talking about tonight, really fits nicely into our vision. So our goal by the year 2033 is to be building 20 homes a year, doing 30 repairs a year in 3 communities. So maybe I should have said 3 counties when I was coming up with our slide deck. But that's our vision, is to really be kind of a larger developer and being able to meet the need of the housing crisis. A little bit on our history. We've been around for a long time. Habitat International is actually celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. We've built 70 homes in Waukesha County, and like I said, here in Fort Atkinson, we'll be closing soon. Got lots of homes under construction. We've served 24 families through our critical repair program. Elena talked about our Lead Safe Homes program, which we partner with the State Department of Health Services on. We also have CHODO status. If that means anything to you, then we should probably grab a drink later, because that's very specific, but it's really important for accessing dollars through the federal government. And we do partner with the Jefferson County At Home for home buyer education. So program design, we've been doing critical repairs for quite some time now, and our program has been really successful. So we were really thoughtful when we were putting together this potential program, and we really focus on critical things. We're not doing cosmetic, we're not doing countertops or painting walls or redesigning kitchens. We are doing really essential things for families. And as Elena said, we've been doing a lot of roofs, siding, porch repair, accessibility, code remediation. So, although we love volunteers and volunteers are a really big part of our new construction mission, volunteers aren't really part of our repair program. It's just too risky, not very volunteer friendly. So what Habitat does is we serve as like the general contractor. Like Elena says, we work with the contractors, we do bidding, we work with the families, we help them understand what their true needs are, and we manage and oversee the work. We do work with local licensed and insured contractors, and that's really one of my favorite parts, is that we get to support the local businesses who already do this work, and they're typically generous, providing Habitat discounts and really falling in love with our homeowners and helping really throw in extra things that the homeowners need but maybe can't afford. Typically our program caps at $20,000. This is the income range of the families we serve through our program. So it's as low as $23,000 a year. And if you're a family of 8, it's $115,000. So that's kind of the income range. I wanted to think about some of the benefits of why partnering with Habitat specifically to administer a repair program, and some of the benefits to the homeowners. So we do offer our program as a sliding scale grant/loan. It's a part of Habitat's vision, is that we are a hand up and not a hand out. So homeowners do have to make some kind of repayment. It's typically a set kind of sliding scale based on your income. If homeowners had all of the money to do the repairs, they probably would do it. And so that's why this program, I think, is so successful. We are serving low to very low income homeowners, lots of seniors. We offer a 0% interest loan repayment on whatever portion it is that is repayable via ACH, and it's typically between $100 and $200 a month for 2-3 years. So they would stretch out their payments over multiple years so that they can make it work. That 12 to 36 month terms. We're tax exempt. I talked about kind of the Habitat discount. And then there would be no staffing support needed from the city. We would make sure all our eligibility guidelines and the program is designed how the city envisions it, but you really are kind of just sort of, I don't want to say set it and forget it, but you really just don't have to worry about it. We'll take it from there and we'll report back annually or quarterly, however we end up figuring out how the program's going. And we would be compliant with any TIF requirements. Some pretty pictures of our house in Fort here. These are some sample repair. This is a new roof project. This is also a new roof project. It's hard, home repairs don't always turn out really great with photos, and this is a pretty big transformation of a home that we did as well. I want to touch on organizational capacity so that you can feel confident that we can truly administer this program. We have 27 employees, including our restore. Elena's one of the members of our construction department, so we have a construction department of 10. She would oversee this program. I would say she has the staffing capacity to do it, and because we've been doing it for quite some time now, I would consider it plug and play. We have federal funding expertise, and we're audited annually. So how I think this would work from an investment perspective, we are looking for a grant to Habitat. We're looking for $250,000 to provide as kind of a matching grant. We'd like to make a request in March to the Community Foundation to match that investment of $250,000. Funds would be held in a restricted account specifically for this program. Like I talked about with reporting, we'd work together with the city to market the program, send out postcards, door hangers, newsletters, that kind of thing to let people know that it exists. It really, I think, is probably obvious to you, but I should say, you know, it's going to help improve the community. The homes that we're going to work on will look better for their block and for the city at large. And it really does inspire neighbors to continue to invest in their homes as well. We'll work with city staff on referrals, and we can keep homeowners in their homes, and we can really kind of meet people where they're at. I talked about program eligibility. We will work that through the Plan Commission. We talked about the grant application. I'd like to, I mean, summer is short in Wisconsin. I know it feels like summer's here almost, but it's really not. So we'd really like to launch this program in June or this summer. So I think we've had early conversations with the Community Foundation, and I think there's definite interest there. My best guess is that we do about 7 projects a year, because with the 500,000 we can do, I'm estimating about 25 projects. So I think the funding could last about 3 years, depending on the need and how quickly people go through. So I'm happy to answer questions. Elena can answer questions as well, if you have any.
How do you define local contractors?
Local contractors. Sure. I would say as much as we can in Jefferson County, but I would say definitely in kind of the region. Do you have anything to add on? She works mostly with our contractors.
Yeah, I would second that. Most of the contractors that we work with are contractors that we've previously used in other like new construction builds that have shown an interest in home repairs. But other local ones are ones that just like serve the general community.
Sure. With the caps at $20,000, if an applicant wanted to do a project that was $26,000, are they still eligible for $20,000 in assistance, and then they kind of handle the other, whatever is left over on their own?
Yeah, I think the nice thing about this program being funded through TIF dollars and not other dollars is that we can be flexible. So if we write the criteria together, we could say, you know, on average, we want our projects to be $20,000. That way we don't have to be hard about it. I'm not so sure somebody could have even $5,000 in their back pocket, but we certainly don't want to turn people away. And we will help them prioritize what's really needed versus maybe what they would like to have, but what they need to have.
Thank you.
Does a person's income level decide whether or not they should file an application with you or not? I mean, what determines that? Just the income level?
You want to talk about our screening process for applications?
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
I'm curious as to what the borders are on somebody who thinks they need something fixed on their house and is aware of your existence and their income level falls into that. They just come see you guys?
Yeah, so people will reach out over the phone. Most of the people that have reached out for Waukesha County have just been it's kind of word of mouth. They hear about it from a friend that got a repair done. And then income levels, we don't really restrict anybody. I think we've seen as low as under the 30%. But yeah, it's just normally them reaching out.
We have a form on our website people
Mhm.
could apply for, but we do get a lot of phone calls, I would
Yes.
say.
Thank you.
Do you see with this like more of like elderly folks that are trying to stay in their home but just can't afford it, or maybe younger families that are, bought a house and just, is there kind of a balance?
It's a mix. Yeah. There's definitely the older folks, but there's, younger families that kind of maybe they got a little over their head and they got some work they need to do. So we're excited to be able to serve all
Okay.
types of families.
Okay. I just have two follow-ups.
Yeah,
with-
please.
One was on the contractors. Does it get opened up to, I mean, I would love to see that it's first opened up to our Fort Atkinson contractors, and that there's some sort of procedure for that first before going out. And then everything's figured out through the Plan Commission as far as what this program for Fort Atkinson is going to be?
Yeah, so we'll
That's
draft
fine.
some initial eligibility guidelines. We'll
Mhm.
work it with Rebecca for a little while, and then we'll present it and obviously take revisions back. Typically, we try to get at least 3 bids for each project. Sometimes it's hard to do that. People don't necessarily like providing bids, but we will work really hard on doing that. But I certainly love the idea of prioritizing or giving first sort of dibs to Fort Atkinson contractors, especially if you can help us make those connections.
Definitely.
The people that qualify and you give some assistance to, they're not required at any level to pay it back, I would assume?
They are. Mm-hmm.
They are required.
30% of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Typically, it's about a third of the cost of the project is what they have to repay back over many months.
And just
Thank
to
you.
understand the process, so once it goes through the Plan Commission, then all the applications go directly through you?
Correct.
Okay, so
Mhm.
the city isn't deciding on who's
No,
getting it or who's.
No, I don't think, I think program eligibility guidelines
Yep.
is the role of the
Good.
Plan Commission, and then we can take it from there.
Perfect,
Mhm.
thank you.
Thank you for what you guys do for our city.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate the time. We good?
I think so. Thank you. All right. I guess moving on to 7B is the Support Person of the Year recognition of Mindy Fry, Police Chief Bump.
Good evening, everyone.
Mhm.
I'm excited to be here tonight. Tonight's one of those special occasions where we get to recognize an employee for the fantastic work that they do. This past January, our administrative assistant, Mindy Fry, received the Support Person of the Year award from the Jefferson County Chiefs and Sheriffs Association. At the police department, we often talk about the right people in the right place and right fit, and Mindy absolutely is that for our administrative assistant. The other thing that we're also thinking about lots of times that guides our decisions are our mission, our vision, and our values. And something that's unique with our department is we have 3 models, and one of those models is being team focused. And when I think about the team we assembled, Mindy is at the forefront of that team. She comes to work consistently every single day with new, exciting ideas and supports every member of our agency from top to bottom, specifically command staff, to ensure that we're successful. So it's for reasons like that that we nominated Mindy for this award with the association. And we were very pleased when she got the award, but I can't say we were surprised because she comes through the door every single day, full of character and competence in the role that she inhabits for us. So I'd like to read for all of you the nomination that was submitted on Mindy's behalf to illustrate why she was so deserving of the award that she received last month. Mindy Fry joined the Fort Atkinson Police Department in December of 2024 as the department's administrative assistant, a newly created position designed to transition from a traditional records clerk role to one that encompasses broader responsibilities, including processing open records and other critical administrative tasks. Mindy understood from the start that this role offered room for interpretation and development, and she embraced that challenge wholeheartedly. Since her arrival, Mindy has made significant contributions to the department's operations. She implemented a streamlined workflow for open records requests, dramatically improving efficiency and reducing turnaround times. Mindy evolved the department's approach to video redaction and billing, introducing processes that are both faster and more accurate. Additionally, she developed new workflows for managing the high volume of tax forms, ensuring consistency and compliance, and her ability to handle NIBRS-related issues with ease further demonstrated her technical proficiencies and attention to detail. Beyond these responsibilities, Mindy manages billing and preparing city council entries with precision and professionalism. Additionally, Mindy possesses the versatility to step into dispatch when needed, whether to cover open shifts or assist during periods of high call volume. Mindy's dedication ensures that the command staff's responsibilities are streamlined and supported at every level of the agency. But what truly sets Mindy apart and makes her deserving of the Support Person of the Year award is not just the sheer volume of work she accomplishes, but the quality and thoughtfulness she brings to every single task. Mindy contributes valuable ideas drawn from her years of public service experience, and her willingness to engage in meaningful conversation and challenges provides a unique perspective that leads to thoughtful solutions. Mindy's effectiveness, efficiency, and collaborative spirit have made her an essential part of the Fort Atkinson Police Department's success. Her work has consistently performed at the highest level, and her impact is felt in every corner of the organization. Simply put, Mindy embodies the very qualities that define excellence in public service: dedication, innovation, and leadership. So please join me in congratulating Mindy on receiving this award.
Mindy, if you just want to stay for a minute, we'll have the council president give you a small token of our appreciation, and I'll take a picture.
Always good when someone of our own city staff gets this high of a recognition throughout the county. So thank you very much for everything you do at the police department. All right, moving on to item 8, resolutions and ordinances. 8A is a review and possible action on resolution allocating funds from the city's Affordable Housing Fund to Habitat for Humanity for Waukesha, Jefferson, and Rock counties for the City of Fort Atkinson Critical Repair Program. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. Thank you to Melissa and Elena for their presentation tonight. As this council knows, the city does have an affordable housing fund that is filled with money from the closures, the extension, of tax increment districts 6, 7, and 8 for an additional year. And within that 2026 adopted budget, we have identified the goal of working with a consultant to establish affordable housing fund programs and policies. That request for proposals has been sent out. We've received some proposals back, and that matter will come before the council in March. However, we've also been working with Habitat for Humanity of Waukesha, Jefferson, and Rock counties on that twin home project that was referenced earlier. And then through that relationship, we have discussed the possibility of a new program with Habitat aimed at helping low-income residents complete critical home repairs on owner-occupied single-family or two-family dwellings. The goal of that program is to provide critical repairs such as roofs, windows, siding, porches, accessibility, and code remediation to low-income residents. As mentioned, Habitat would serve as a general contractor for these projects, and the team would help develop the scope, collect bids, and ensure high-quality repairs and completion of the work. Habitat would, as we talked about, hire local licensed contractors to perform that work with a cap of about $20,000 per project. With the requested funding from the city, as well as matching funds, if we receive them from the Community Foundation, we would look at about 25 projects over the next several years. The city is proposing to invest $250,000 from the Affordable Housing Fund for this project. And just as a reminder, all of the funds within that Affordable Housing Fund are increment and interest from those that extended year of tax increment of those tax increment districts. So the potential properties for the program would be identified through the city's code enforcement services, city staff, and an application process managed by Habitat. The Plan Commission would review those eligibility program guidelines, and city staff would provide the Plan Commission with a monthly update on the program, including the number of applications submitted, communication efforts, and eventually projects completed. Habitat staff would provide the Plan Commission with an annual report relating to the projects completed, before and after pictures, and remaining funds available, which would allow us to really celebrate those wins. One of the significant benefits of working with Habitat on this program is that there's no staffing support needed from the city. The city's investment would be a grant to Habitat to administer the program and distribute those funds. Their administrative and overhead costs would be recouped through that partial loan repayment by the homeowner. The program represents a way for those affordable housing funds to be distributed into the community quicker to address critical repairs using local contractors. So if approved, that program is expected to launch in June, and the funds are estimated to last about 3 years. If the city council approves the investment of $250,000 for the program, Habitat staff and city staff will apply for matching funds to the community foundation. However, if the community foundation, excuse me, does not approve the matching grants, the city staff would like to move forward still with that $250,000 investment in the program, which would result in about 12 or 13 projects. You have a table in your packet that shows the total anticipated affordable housing fund revenue in this fund, which is about just under $1.7 million. This investment of $250,000 to Habitat would leave the remaining funds in that program at about $1,439,000. And again, we'll be working with a consultant to develop the programs for distribution or loans or grants for that $1.4 million. Staff does recommend that the city council adopt the resolution allocating $250,000 from the city's affordable housing fund to Habitat for Humanity of Waukesha, Jefferson, and Rock counties to support the Fort Atkinson Critical Repair Program. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
I move to approve the resolution allocating funds from the city's Affordable Housing Fund to Habitat for Humanity of Waukesha, Jefferson, and Rock counties for the Fort Atkinson Critical Repair Program.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I just think this is a very worthwhile allocation of the fund, and hopefully with the matching grant from the Community Foundation, we can really make a difference in our community. And someday I look forward to seeing some before and after photos of success stories in our community.
Anything else? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, 8B, review, this is a first reading of an ordinance to repeal and recreate Article 3 of Chapter 86 of the City of Fort Atkinson Code of General Ordinances relating to recycling. Director Naven.
Good evening. All right. The Wisconsin DNR is requesting the city repeal and recreate the city's recycling ordinance. This update is necessary to align city code with the new Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources administrative rules that went into effect on July 1st of 2025. The existing recycling ordinance was originally adopted in 1994 to comply with the state solid waste recovery laws. However, in May of 24, the governor approved new administrative rules to update effective recycling program criteria. To be recognized by the DNR as having an effective recycling program under state statute, the city is mandated to adopt these updated rules. Maintaining the status is not optional if the city wishes to remain eligible for state recycling grants. The proposed recreation of Article 3 includes several technical and administrative updates required by the DNR, including updated definitions, updates to acceptable materials, enhanced education, multifamily and non-residential standards, collection standards, and enforcement and penalties. So by adopting this ordinance ensures the city continues to receive state recycling grant funding, which helps offset the cost of the city's local recycling program. Failure to update the ordinance would jeopardize these funds and potentially put the city out of compliance with state law. The ordinance committee reviewed this matter at the meeting on February 3rd of 2026 and recommended that staff prepare for city council for review and approval. Staff recommends the city council perform the first reading of the draft ordinance to repeal and recreate Chapter 86, Article 3, and schedule this item for a second and possible third and final reading at the meeting on March 3rd of 2026. This action ensures that the city's local laws remain current with state standards and protects eligibility for essential grant funding. With that, I'll take any questions.
I just have one on the multifamily and non-residential standards. Is that a big change from as far as when we're going to communicate that, where it's going to have an impact on current landowners?
I don't see it as a big change. It's, just
Yeah.
to enhance communication, if anything, to make sure that we're kind of driving that home.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. and-
Lead acid batteries, one per pickup or one, you could only put one out by the curb?
Yeah, per pickup through our contractor, they'll pick up one per,
You got to call it in to make sure that they are aware that you have one out there.
correct,
And you call right down to John's.
correct.
Magazines, newspapers, and office paper can go right into the bin, like onesie twosies. You don't have to bundle it or all.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to just to follow up on your question from the last time, Peggy, our current ordinance allows for up to $1,000 per day for the fine, as opposed to what's now in here.
You also got like oil change for your car. We can put 1 gallon out there. Again, you need to call it in that it's there.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that's it'll take you 2 times if we can do any car. Most cars got 5 quarts. My truck's got 8. So it'll take a couple of turns, but at least I could have a place to send it.
Yeah, it does work well. Everything I've heard about it, people are very happy with it, and as long as they remember to communicate it to the vendor that they have it out at the curb and it's ready for pickup.
Does a gallon milk jug work?
To my knowledge, yes, but I would confirm that with John's before I.
Again, that would be something I know that people would have access to if they changed their oils and bought it a quart
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think I've seen it in that other communities or their windshield washer jugs. Reuse those for that as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The enforcement and penalties section, I assume we've never really had issues that we've had to enforce of this.
Correct.
Okay, this is just kind of something there that
Yep,
if there's a problem, we can,
that is correct.
And it is part of the model ordinance from the DNR. They do require us to have penalties.
I move to direct the city manager to prepare the ordinance for a second and possible third and final reading at the meeting on March 3rd, 2026.
Second.
a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8C is the first reading of an ordinance to repeal section 95-160 of the City of Fort Atkinson Municipal Code relating to the sunset and reporting requirements of the ATV UTV ordinance. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. The city council enacted an ordinance allowing ATV and UTV use on the city streets in November of 23, which became effective in April of 24. That ordinance did include a 2-year sunset, automatic sunset without additional council action, included in section 95-160. So without action, that ordinance would no longer be in effect on April 8th, 2026. So we did take this to the ordinance committee at a meeting on February 3rd. We presented the current ordinance for review by the committee, and staff recommended that the 6-month reporting requirement be eliminated. After 3 such reports, staff does not feel it's necessary to provide data relating to just violations of one specific ordinance. If we do start to see issues or dangerous patterns of behavior relating to ATV and UTV use, then we would present a report and recommendations for a possible solution. So staff did ask for feedback from the ordinance committee about the rest of the ordinance, as well as the sunset provision. And after discussion amongst the committee, they provided staff with a direction to remove section 95-160 from the ordinance, which would eliminate both the reporting requirement and the sunset after 2 years. At any time in the future, if a city council wishes, as a whole wishes to amend or eliminate the ordinance, the council may do so regardless of whether or not there's a sunset provision in the ordinance. So again, repealing section 95-160 simply removes the reporting requirement and sunset provision. The remaining sections of the ordinance allowing ATV and UTV use on city streets would remain in effect. As I mentioned, the ordinance committee recommended that the city council amend this ordinance by eliminating section 95-160. And staff recommends that the city council perform the first reading of this ordinance tonight and direct staff to prepare it for a second and possible third reading at the meeting on March 3rd, 2026. Happy to answer any questions.
So removing the sunset means that this just stays there until we got an issue that might suggest we'd want to revisit it.
Correct.
I move to direct the city manager to prepare the ordinance for a second and possible third reading and final reading on the meeting on March 3rd, 2026.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, 9A is reports of officers, boards, and committees. 9A, city managers report. Manager Houseman again.
Thank you. I attended the League of Wisconsin Municipalities Board of Directors meeting on February 5th in Madison. Discussion topics included the 2026 legislative session, which is ending in March, goals for the 2027-2028 legislative agenda, and recruitment of a new executive director. Staff continues to work with the city's financial advisors to develop strategies and timelines relating to the city's tax increment districts. Staff will recommend that the city council close TID 6 in the Clement Business Park and TID 7 in our downtown in March, per the schedule established back in 2024 when this council established the Affordable Housing Fund, and we will begin to plan for 3 new tax increment districts. The new TIDs will allow the city to incentivize development in the business park and in our downtown. More to come on these really exciting opportunities. The Plan Commission met on Tuesday, February 10th to review and reviewed 2 projects of note. They approved the adaptive reuse of the former Kent's Big Bar building located at 916 Madison Avenue into a 5-unit apartment building, which is permitted by right. The site and building will be improved through this project. The Plan Commission also reviewed a concept plan from a regional developer, Pre-3, for 6 12-unit apartment buildings to be located off of Meta Lane. The Plan Commission and the City Council will have several chances to review this project as there are land use applications required, including a zoning map amendment. The Police and Fire Commission met on February 12th and approved the promotion of Captain Nate Lawrence to the position of Division Chief. Congratulations to Nate. The PFC also approved the hiring of 2 new part-time firefighters to enhance the city's combination department. Several city representatives, including Councilmember Huckabee, myself, Zach Navin, Jed Drager, and Sarah Wayard, attended the Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting for Vines and Vices, a new plant store on Janesville Avenue on February 13th. Clerk Ebert, Courtney Tome, Sarah Wayard, and I will attend the Fort Healthcare Women Who Care luncheon on February 19th. The Fire Department Honors Night will take place on Tuesday, February 24th at the Fire Department. Fire Department staff retirements, promotions, and new hires will be recognized, and Councilmember David Lesko-Hare will deliver the keynote. Thank you, Chief Peterson, for organizing this evening of recognition. Next week, I will attend the Wisconsin City County Management Association Winter Conference in Oshkosh on February 25th through the 27th. I will attend education sessions and meet with vendors and colleagues. I've also been asked to participate in speed coaching for aspiring leaders who wish to move up in local government. Finally, this week, the city issued a last call for GFL garbage and recycling carts to be collected. Please call the municipal building by tomorrow if anyone still has GFL carts. If you have neighbors who have GFL carts, give them a little nudge. GFL will provide a final pickup on those carts on the list. So call, get your address or your neighbor's address on the list, get the carts out to the curb, and GFL will pick those up. If you hang on to your old carts for any reason, you may be responsible for paying for their removal. So John's will not collect from GFL bins, so you're not going to get an extra cart out of the deal. So just be aware of that. And if you have questions, please contact us down at the municipal building and get answers, or check our website. We've got lots of information on that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on to item 10, unfinished business. 10A, review and possible action on relating to a memorandum of understanding between the city of Fort Atkinson and Alexander Duggaroo of TAP LLC relating to the rental payments in support of Boost Fort Atkinson program. Manager Houseman.
Thank you. In 2024, the City Council authorized funding to support the Boost Fort Atkinson downtown pitch competition through the city's lodging cityscape room tax fund. So those were not general tax dollars, those were dollars from the room tax. The city and city staff and the chamber applied for matching funds to the community foundation, and we have a total of $32,000 was allocated to support this partnership with UW Whitewater and Actus for the Boost Fort Atkinson program. This report was written a few days ago when Tidy Tails was still staying in business since that time. We have received news that Tidy Tales will, the original winner of the Boost pitch competition will cease operations downtown at the end of March. However, so the numbers in this document will change slightly as the commitment from the city for payment of rent would also end in March of 2026. However, there are funds remaining. We anticipate spending about $13,635 of the $32,000 that was originally allotted on the Tidy Tales project. So we are proposing to work with Tattooed Tree Books, which came in second place in the pitch competition, to locate at 112 North Main Street. That is currently a vacant space. Dina Tellis is proposing to use that property as a bookstore, offering new and used books, and also supporting other entrepreneurs through pop-up opportunities. It should be noted there's a couple signs in the window right now. One is for her bookstore, and one is for Chroma Art Studio, which will co-locate there. So the proposed memorandum of understanding with the property owner is in the packet for review. It commits the city to 6 months of rent at $1,500 per month for a total of $9,000 to be paid while Dina Tullis occupies that space as a tenant. So much as it functions now, the city receives an invoice from the property owner for that month's rent and pays that month's rent. So if at any time the tenant is no longer in the location, the city will not be committed to paying that rent. So at the end of the updated total anticipated to be spent on this program would be $22,635. And at the end of August 2026, the city would then provide those invoices to the Community Foundation and seek reimbursement of 50% for the approved grant. So staff does recommend that the City Council approve the memorandum of understanding between the City of Fort Atkinson and Alexandru Duragu of TAP LLC to support Phase 2 of the Boost Fort Atkinson business competition through rental assistance for the property located at 112 North Main Street, and authorize the city manager to execute. And with that, I am happy to answer any questions.
What is in that location right now?
It's a vacant storefront.
So it has been, it's cleared out.
It was,
It's ready for somebody to move
yeah,
in and.
it was. It was a it was a antique store. So I think this is a great opportunity to, Enactus and the chamber have been engaged with Dana since we started the pitch competition. They continued to support her doing some of the reverse pitch and other support projects to get her to the place where she feels comfortable being a tenant here. So we're very, staff is very supportive, the chamber is very supportive of this project, and we recommend that the council, these are funds that have already been allocated to this Boost Fort Atkinson, but given the dollar amount, we did want to come back to council and ask for approval.
I think it's great that we get to help too. So I move to approve the memorandum of understanding between the City of Fort Atkinson and Alexander Dagaru of TAP LLC relating to rental payments in support of the Boost Fort Atkinson program.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, new business. 11A, review and possible action relating to a contract for design work associated with restriping of Janesville Avenue. Director Navin.
Hello again. All right, the Janesville Avenue corridor plan formally adopted on June 3rd of 2025, identifies the conversion of the current 4-lane undivided roadway into a 3-lane facility consisting of two 12-foot travel lanes and one 16-foot two-way left turn lane known as a twiddle as priority short-term improvement. Staff requested proposals for the design work to restripe Janesville Avenue to a twiddle to better understand associated costs, logistics, and intersection impacts of the proposed change identified in the corridor plan. This proposed work that came out of the corridor plan is rooted in several safety and operational needs identified during the planning process that included public safety, traffic calming, operational capacity, and cost effectiveness. Staff received proposals from 3 companies listed in the table below. Grafe USA Incorporated submitted a proposal that meets the needs of the city at the lowest cost of $13,500. The contract with Grafe is not to exceed the amount of $13,500, with $5,500 allocated for layout and recommendations and $8,000 for the final signing and marking plans. The project was identified in the adopted 2026 budget in the capital improvements program. $24,600 was allocated for the study from the city's transportation fund. The revenue sources that support Fund 5 include levied funds, vehicle registration fees, grants, and state aids. Staff recommends that the city council approve the design contract for Janesville Avenue permanent signing and pavement marking plan to Grafe USA Inc. for $13,500 and authorize the city manager to execute.
So I did get some questions on this one.
Sure.
So those are pretty standard, like lane widths, and it's pretty known how far back you have to go to get into the turn lane, those types of things. What will this study do that we couldn't just mark the roads with the information we already have?
Well, we don't have the capacity to just mark the roads, right? So you have to put an actual design out there and have
Mhm.
it formed professionally designed by an engineering firm that does that type of work, right?
Okay.
Versus just,
So we don't have the capabilities in the city to draw those plans.
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
I know that we were talking about upgrading the whole area out there on that road. Is this designed around that upgrades that we're talking, or is this the upgrade that we're talking?
This is the short-term upgrade, if you will, right? Some of those big upgrades are, the grander scale upgrades are quite pricey, right? So this would be a short-term designed and an opportunity to feel it out and see what it looks like, how it feels as you drive it. And then over the next 5 to 10 years, as we improve Janesville Avenue, we would look to move to some of the bigger options that are laid out in the corridor planning.
So it's more like getting us ready for the transformation from 4 lanes to 3.
Correct.
Nothing we do with this project will negatively impact future plans for Janesville Avenue.
Okay.
So we're not going to do anything that we need to undo later.
By going with this restriping option, if for some reason we see a major problem with it, we could always restripe back to the 4-lane idea if for some reason this was.
Yeah, we surely could. I would note that there will be, at that point, quite a bit of scarring on the road from removing paint, repainting, and then removing paint again, but it could surely be done.
Okay.
Well, the bigger project, when we get to that, would resurface the whole road, would it not?
Correct. Yes. Yep, and yeah, I can't say with certainty everything that would be resurfaced, but there'd be a good chance that most of that would be resurfaced by that time.
Okay.
It would definitely be phased.
Yes,
a
based on some of
very,
the numbers in that plan, it'll
very
surely.
long road.
This is limited to striping, not speed limits?
Correct.
And I will just note that this is just the study. This is not actually somebody going out and marking the roads. So after we get this study back with the pavement marking plans and signing plans, then we will have to hire someone to complete that actual work.
Thank
Just
you.
want to note that.
Yes, that is important to note.
I know we have worked with Grafe in the past on a few jobs. Is there any concern as to why there's a $15,000 price range?
No concerns after reviewing and talking with them further. They just seem to be working their way further out of the Metro Milwaukee area as far as their business plan and business model goes, and I think they're willing to give a couple of those breaks to get in the door.
Okay.
I move to authorize the city manager to execute a contract with Grafe USA for the design work associated with the restriping of Janesville Avenue at a cost not to exceed $13,500.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. 11B, review and possible action relating to Robert Street and South Third Street intersection study. Director Navin again.
Thank you. Between November 24th and November 25th, staff received 3 formal traffic review requests from residents expressing safety concerns regarding the pedestrian crossing at this intersection of Robert Street, Janesville Ave, and South Third Street. These requests were prompted by a pedestrian being struck by a vehicle on October 20th of 2025, as well as several observed near misses. Specific concerns raised by the public included perceived insufficient time provided by the pedestrian crossing beacons, vehicles traveling southbound on Robert Street failing to stop at the intersection, and dangerous vehicle movements, specifically right-hand turns from South Third Street onto Robert Street while pedestrians are in the crosswalk. At the December 11th, 2025 Transportation Traffic Review Committee meeting, staff was directed to conduct a formal analysis of the intersection and provide recommendations for safety improvements. Due to the technical nature of the traffic signal timing and the legal requirements for crash pattern analysis, staff saw professional proposals to ensure any proposed modifications meet safety and engineering standards. Staff received 2 proposals for traffic analysis on this intersection, JT Engineering, Inc. and Transportation Analysis and Design. The proposed scope of work includes data collection, crash analysis, operational analysis, improvement modeling, and improvement modeling, while the proposal from Traffic Analysis and Design is nominally lower base in cost. Staff believes the JT proposal offers a superior value and more comprehensive analysis for the city's specific safety needs. Although there is a marginal $472 difference between the 2 base fees, staff recommends the JT engineering proposal based on the following factors. The depth of the safety analysis. JT has proposed to analyze 8 years of crash history to identify potential safety measures. In contrast, the TADI proposal only includes the last 5 years of electronic crash data. Given the complexity of this intersection and the recent serious pedestrian injury, a longer historical data set is critical for identifying long-term patterns and justifying future infrastructure changes. Another piece is the preliminary site insight. JT has already performed preliminary work by obtaining the 8 years of data and identifying all 4 vehicle versus pedestrian/bicycle crashes at this location that resulted in suspected injuries. Their proposal already identifies a specific potential solution, relocating the pedestrian crossing to the south approach to the intersection, which shows a more advanced understanding of the site's unique challenges. And then finally, the comprehensive deliverables. The JT proposal explicitly includes cost estimates and conceptual drawings for all evaluated improvements with their memorandum. These items are essential for staff to transition from the study phase into the capital improvement plan and to apply for future grants. The $9,800 fee is a modest investment for a study that addresses significant liability and public safety concerns. The additional $472 spent on the JT proposal ensures a deeper historical analysis and provides the conceptual drawings and cost estimates required for immediate project implementation. As shown in the previous agenda items, the $24,600 was included in the approved 2026 budget for the design of the restriping of Janesville Avenue. The cost of that project came in under budget at $13,500, leaving $11,100 in Fund 5 that could be used for another purpose. Staff proposes to use that $9,800 of those funds for this project. Staff recommends the City Council approve the contract with JT Engineering at a cost not to exceed $9,800 to study the Robert Street/Janesville Avenue and 3rd Street intersection and authorize the city manager to execute.
Will the report include any concept of the proposed corridor upgrades where we may direct semi-traffic down there and increase the amount of semi-traffic to go across there and go across Robert Street Bridge if that were to happen? Will they be addressing that issue and the safety concerns with that?
Can you elaborate on the increased semi-traffic?
Well, my understanding was one of the proposed things that we do when we do the Main Street corridor is to try and get semis off Main Street and run them down 3rd Street to go over Robert Street Bridge. So to me, I'm concerned with that or the safety issue of it. And to spend money on an issue that doesn't keep that in mind when they're talking about it or what they're looking at, that it may have at some point in the future, a far increased number of semi trucks going through there, which again, I personally don't think is a good idea. But I want to be sure that if they're addressing that intersection, what their feelings are with an increased amount of that, because it would be significant, I believe.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they already have a copy of the Janesville Avenue corridor plan as associates with this project, so I could surely give them the Main Street and explain some of those concerns as well.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think this is a good idea with our concerns that we've had addressed here. That $472, like you said, is very nominal for what they're proposing to give us an extra. So I think that's a very wise choice to go with the slightly higher bid here.
And that they're going to have it to you by next week.
Yeah, that was the initial proposal. We'll have to update some of those numbers on expectations for due dates.
Okay.
Can you or Attorney Westrick tell us a little bit more about the legal requirements for crash pattern analysis?
Mhm.
I cannot. I cannot elaborate on that one too far.
What respect?
Well, I'm just wondering what in general might the legal requirements be? Or is it enough to just say there are some and it's not our area of expertise?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think that you need someone else to do the study, because we're not gonna know. I mean, you're gonna have pros come in and say what's needed.
This is also currently a connecting highway. It's Highway 12 East. So that is also needs to be considered. And these folks do this thing for a living, this type of design work and analysis for a living. So we definitely would defer to their recommendations on the safety of this intersection.
I move to authorize the city manager to execute a contract with JT Engineering relating to Robert Street and South Third Street intersection study.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11C, review and possible action relating to the Dwight Foster Public Library website redesign project. Director Lippert.
Hello. I am here tonight to present a possible website redesign project for the library. The library's website is an essential tool that the library uses to share information about the library itself, our programs and services. We provide online catalog access and direct access to online resources and databases on our website. Our website was last redesigned in 2016 by Tall Guy Productions, which is a local company. In April 2024, the Department of Justice issued a final rule with specific requirements for state and local government entities regarding web and mobile app accessibility. And the library is part of the city of Fort Atkinson, and so we must comply with the web accessibility rules by April 26th of 2027. Library staff identified a website redesign project as a possible solution to improve our online presence and gain access to website support while also moving the library closer to our web accessibility compliance in the most efficient manner. I spoke to other librarians throughout our library system, as well as city staff, and based on those recommendations, I sought website redesign and hosting proposals from two companies, Library Market and Revise. Library staff considered both of the proposals that we had, and after discussion, we would recommend moving forward on a website redesign project with Revise, with cost being the biggest factor tipping the scales in favor of Revise. Looking at the financial analysis, I did not include a website redesign project in the 2026 operating budget or CIP plan. However, new awareness of the ADA web accessibility rule and deadline has highlighted the benefits of pursuing a website redesign project now. In order to pay for this, we intend to pursue a Fort Atkinson Community Foundation designated fund grant to cover the initial website development cost of $7,500. And I can say that after approval from the library board, I did request funds from the Community Foundation. And I just learned today that the board has approved funding the request fully for $7,500 if approved. Additionally, I would pursue a Bridges Library System non-competitive innovation grant to cover the year one hosting costs and maintenance cost. After year one, the library would plan to include the annual hosting and maintenance costs in our regular operating budget. On Monday, February 9th, 2026, the library board approved moving forward with the website redesign project with Revise and talking to the Community Foundation for our designated fund grant to pay for it. And I will note that Wisconsin statutes say that the library board has exclusive control of expenditures of all monies collected, donated, or appropriated for the library fund. But I'm here in front of you tonight to also comply with the city's financial stability guidebook. The library staff and the library board recommend that the city council approve a website redesign project with Revise using funds from the Fort Atkinson Community Foundation designated fund grant to cover the initial website development cost of $7,500. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
You may have answered this already. This won't go live though till 27, right?
It would go live hopefully in this year. It would depend on
Right.
how long the website the web design process works, but
Okay.
the timeline that they have shown us so far, it typically takes a few months.
Oh.
Yeah, hopefully we wouldn't slow it down too much.
Yeah.
But that would give us plenty of time to comply with when we have to comply with the web accessibility rules. And I do like moving forward on it now and not getting too close to that deadline.
You'll probably have a much better product too, without having to rush it, so.
Mhm.
Certainly don't want to fall outside of our accessibility obligations. I would move to approve the library website redesign project with Revise and accept a Fort Atkinson Community Foundation designated fund grant to cover the initial website development cost of $7,500.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'll just add that a couple things. Minetta worked with Sarah Wayert in my office to work with Revise to negotiate a better contract for both the city and the library, doing a joint, a 2-for-1 type. The city uses Revise already for our website. We will also be redesigning the website to comply with ADA accessibility standards by the deadline. Our cost, because we're already with Revise, was significantly less expensive, which is why it did not require city council approval. But being able to package those two websites together did save both the library and the city in total about $5,000 for the new website. So I just wanted to commend Director Lippert on that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to see that much money saved, plus applying for this grant, so it's not really any money out of the library's trust to cover it, so.
Yeah, our library is fantastic. So anything we can do to grow, keep in progress going is great.
Thank you.
With that, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further debate, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, 11D, review and possible action relating to an off-site backup data agreement between the city of Fort Atkinson and the city of Whitewater to host off-site data backup storage equipment for the Fort Atkinson Police Department. Chief Bump.
Hello. In 2021, our agency took advantage of an opportunity to set up an off-site redundant emergency backup system, so everything would be backed up and saved. That was done with the city of Whitewater. The city hall and police department are together there, and so their IT department, our IT vendor, our agency, and their agency worked it out. It was more of a handshake, verbal thing that we did. Fast forward a few years to now, the city of Whitewater realize, hey, what is this equipment in our IT room? And then they quickly got caught up to speed that we had set up this system within their IT area. And what it is it's there's a virtual pathway between our two buildings. And every night at about 3 a.m., we do a data backup of all of our virtual and our electronic data. And it backs up in our server room in the basement, but also in Whitewater at the same time. That way, if we ever have a natural disaster, a flood, something bad happens to our building, we don't lose all of our data. So much of what we do every day ends up on electronic data of some sort in our CAD, our RMS, and our servers. So we've been doing this for about 4 years, and Whitewater's said maybe we should have an agreement. So we quickly worked to establish a MOU. The MOU was provided to you in the notes today, and it really does just follow what we currently and have been practicing over the last 4 years since that was put in. There's no new language or no new things in that. It's just kind of making sure that we have a good verbal, or not a verbal anymore, but a written agreement in case of anything happens in the future. Is there any questions about the MOU or about the hardware that is in Whitewater?
I think it's just very smart because people change and move, and somebody could just go, I don't know what this is for.
Well,
I really am. I'm the last person in that out of the group that originally did it that was there for it. So
Mhm.
if I wouldn't have been here, everybody would be like, I don't know what this stuff is. So yes,
Oh,
that's
this
a
is
good
great.
idea.
This is great.
yeah, this is a really good idea in our digital world. My body shop once experienced ransomware, which is a nightmare we don't want to go through at any point.
And this
This
is a
would be
great
good.
opportunity where stuff gets backed up and you don't lose everything. You might lose the last 24 hours maybe, depending on when the backup last occurred, but at least you're not losing everything.
I assume we own the equipment stationed in Whitewater.
Yeah, so a few years in 2021, when we first set this up, the pathway was already there. So what we did is we took advantage of that pathway to put in a remote hard drive. Thank you. A hard drive in Whitewater. So really, our computer is communicating virtually to that hard drive and backing things up. We just had to pay for that and get the equipment, the hard drive equipment there. There could be, I mean, that's not going to last forever. It's computer based. So maybe in another 3 years or so, we might have to update that external hard drive, but it would be considerably less than we originally paid, which was around $3,000. We're just going to replace that end hard drive that things saved to.
Is the information that's transferred back and forth encrypted as to protect it?
Yeah, it's all encrypted and covered under between the two firewalls, and they communicate and are connected. So
Excellent.
Does Whitewater have anything like this in our facility?
no, we got the idea from them because what they do is they do their backup offsite at their water department. So they have an IT area at their water department, and that's where theirs goes. And that got us thinking we should probably be doing something. And that's when the two IT departments got their heads together and figured out this plan for us.
Do we have the ability to offer a reciprocal agreement?
If they needed something, I think we're always willing to work with other agencies and other cities, so we work together. I don't know what that could be, because I think their IT is pretty solid, but we would always be open to doing things like that and partnering when we can to kind of return the favor.
Well, I move to approve the offsite backup data agreement between the city of Fort Atkinson and the city of Whitewater to host offsite data backup storage equipment for the Fort Atkinson Police Department.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. 11E, review and possible action relating to a contract for annual brush grinding services for the Department of Public Works Operations Division. Superintendent Williamson.
Yes, thank you.
I won't read the whole memo, but annually this contract comes before the council as part of our obligation to maintain our compost site, which is where we host all of the citizens' brush drop off and any any work that we do within the right of way, we take the brush there too. So we have that location. We generally collect somewhere between 9,500 and 15,000 cubic yards of brush every year, which is unruly to manage. So we grind that brush down. Maybe 10 or 15 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, the city committed to the DNR that we would no longer burn that brush. So we've been grinding it, processing it, and utilizing it either to haul it away or to give it away to the citizens for the last several years. So as part of that obligation, staff distributed proposals, requests for proposals for the services again this year. We asked for two bids, one a base bid of the grinding process, and then the second would be for what the cost would be to have that material hauled off-site. The providers that we followed through with, this is the third year in a row now, we've followed through with the same providers, which is TLB Wood Products in Seymour, Wisconsin, Enercon out of Hartford, Atlas Custom Grinding in Hortonville, Buckland's Tree Service out of Menasha, and then we also utilized a new company that started this year called Tree Delete right here in Fort Atkinson. These companies were all distributed the same request. We did receive three bids from three of the providers. And after reviewing the submitted bids, the low bidder, based on the proposal documents submitted, was Buckland's Tree Service. They provided the most reasonable rate for grinding and a competitive rate for hauling off all materials from the site. So in 2022, we started looking into grinding and hauling the materials off-site because it is a very big time consuming item for us in the department to haul that material off. And we have to find a licensed facility to take it. As part of the process, all of the companies prepared proposals for brush grinding contract, included optional proposal for hauling. The bid tab that I included under the financial analysis shows those three bids, at least broke out by how they proposed. They are slightly different. They all contain this really similar items. But in the narrative below that, I kind of summed up what they did a little differently from each other. But in the end, Buckland's proposal was considerably lower at $7,925. And in the 2026 budget, we budgeted $46,700 in expenditures to support our compost site. And the funds from this grinding process and hauling process this year will be paid for through those funds budgeted. So staff is recommending the city council approve the proposed brush grinding services from Buckland's Tree Service in the amount of $7,925 and authorize the city manager to execute the contract.
The brush grinding done on the compost site,
Mhm.
the wood chips generated are available or not available to citizens who might want them for a reason?
So all winter long, we produce our own. So the tree removals and brush grinding and trimming that we do all winter long, that pile, we have a perpetual pile down there. This material just adds to that. So I can sum it up, about 10,000 cubic yards of material once it's ground is about a third of that size. So we're still running in the 3,000 cubic yards of material, which is 3,000 or 4,000 cubic yards of material, which is a very, very big pile of brush
Is it
grinding.
available to citizens if they wanted some?
Yeah,
At
absolutely.
what expense?
It's no cost to them. The material is free. The only charge that we have is if they ask for dump truck size loads. We charge for the service to drop it off, and that's all. But again, we always maintain a
If they do the
perpetual
labor
pile.
and hand load it their own truck, they could just.
Absolutely. And we maintain our own pile. So right now we have, I would say in the vicinity of 2,000 cubic yards, maybe 1,500 cubic yards that will stay on site. We will not haul that material off.
I believe we've used this company in the past.
Yeah, we gave them their first contract in 2023 and included the haul off of the materials in 23. They were awarded last year as low bidder, and this year they are again low bidder.
I've been well pleased with their work, I assume, by saying, well.
Yeah, they work really closely with my department in order to get in there and utilize the area to space to grind. And then we work with them around the hauling and getting material out of there before the compost site opens. If the compost site does open, they've been very generous to haul on a Sunday and not be interacting with the public.
So I was reading over the different bids.
Mhm.
Do they bid hourly then at the end of the project? I was looking at the.
So
vast
I
difference in hours.
request that extra, that they break it out for me so I can compare hourly charges.
Okay,
That helps me because not everyone bids the same amount of hours for the same amount of work. But in essence, they're all very close if you look at the way they broke the bids out. I also ask for that every year on the off chance that we have something else we would like to have processed and we can add that to the contract without exceeding our bid award. So I know it's going to cost, couple
okay, so they
hours.
invoice on the bid amount, not hourly.
No, they'll invoice us on whatever they process down. So if it takes them 5 hours, they'll only invoice us for 5 hours.
Okay, because
Mhm.
I was trying to figure out the large difference in hours that
Yeah.
each one of them had put in.
Yeah, yeah. Last year we awarded the project for a little over $16,000, and they billed us 13,000 something, 13,200, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I move to approve the proposal for brush grinding services from Buckland's Tree Service in the amount of $7,925 and authorize the city manager to execute the contract.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 12 is miscellaneous. Tonight we have none. Item 13, public comment for matters not on the agenda. The city council received comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak was requested to sign up in advance or state the following for the record when called upon: name, address, and subject matter. No action will be taken on any public comments tonight. If anyone on the Zoom wishes to speak, please raise your virtual hand as the chat box is not monitored and those on the call must remain muted. We don't have anyone in person, so anyone on Zoom, this is your first call. Second call for anyone on Zoom. Seeing none, we will close public comment. Item 14, claims, appropriations, and contract payments. Review and possible action relating to the verified claims as presented by the Director of Finance and authorized payment.
I move to approve the verified claims as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Huckabee,
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko Hair,
Aye.
Councilmember Schultz,
Aye.
President Jekyll.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 15, closed session. 15, the city council may consider a motion to convene in a closed session pursuant to state statute 19.85 sub 1 sub C to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation of any public employee over which a governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. This being the annual performance review of the city manager.
I move to convene in closed session pursuant to state statute section 19.851C to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility for the annual performance review of the city manager.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Huckabee,
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko Hair,
Aye.
Councilmember Schultz,
Aye.
President Jekyll.
Aye. All right, that passes. We will be in closed session. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We will not come back into open session.